Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy Mo. Set your boards and let's get started. This is On the Board. Alright, so today is going to be an interesting one. I actually saw it last week, a little snippet of it, and I really wanted to talk about it with you guys. This is something that's been happening. To let you into to my background, I'm from New York City, raised in Brooklyn, and what I'm about to show you is it's not new. It's actually normal, common within the black community, and so many brothers are victims of this. But because of media and how things been going, we're pressured not to talk about it due to masculinity. So let's get started, and we're gonna have a whole conversation about this craziness. All right. Wow. So for those who haven't seen the video before, so this is at a Steelers game, and there's an argument that starts happening. Now, the man and the woman that in the beginning were arguing with each other, and words were said. The gentleman says, "Don't touch me." He pushes the lady back because she's getting too close to his personal space. Valid. You got to put your hands out. Regardless of man or woman, it's the same rules. Put your hands out. You don't know what somebody's going to do. Just because somebody's a woman, that don't mean nothing can happen. And him putting his hands out to keep that distance, that boundary, and saying, "Don't touch me," was valid. Words are words. This is kindergarten stuff, right? Words are words. Keep your distance. You shouldn't have your hands on anybody. But she proceeded to smack him. Now, this man that stands up is, I believe, her husband or boyfriend. Regardless, this man was sitting down while his woman was arguing with this man. And let's see what happens. Oh, that man got hands. Snuffed the chick, rocks the guy, puts the dude to sleep. I know some of y'all are going to be like, "Wow, this guy is really promoting violence against women." No, I'm actually not. And when the video ends, I'm gonna explain why I'm not. Yep, she slapped him. You hear how that woman in the background kept saying that she slapped him? Hey, get angry at me.
She hit him first.
Yeah, she slapped him in his face.
Somebody get his glasses.
This, to me, was a perfect example of inequality. And what I mean about that is that right now in the mainstream media, for the last 20 years, the common narrative has always been that men are beating on women, men are this negative influence, and without no data to back it up, mainstream media has covered this to the point where especially the black man has been the most abusive image on TV. And let me tell you something about, as a black man growing up in America, majority of us are raised by single mothers, right? And there are consistent reasons why our fathers are not there. It can be from the government arresting injustice done upon us. There's so many reasons why black boys are stuck alone with women only. And I am one of millions of boys that have been roughed up by women, other women. I've also been in foster care myself. Whether I got hit by a woman for, just questioning or the aggression. So a lot of the times, women feel as though they can cross the line of physical contact with boys due to the fact that they either have to play both roles as a woman and a man. They have to play it, so they go on beating their boys and spanking them, and this creates a cycle of negativity all on its own, right? And as somebody who has been hit by their mother as a kid, you're told that not only are you can get hit by a woman, right? Because this behavior is seen by daughters, and then daughters repeat the things that their mothers do, and they go out into these abusive relationships and these negative contexts where they've never seen healthy men, right? So these mothers are creating unhealthy boys who don't know how to communicate with women, and they're creating daughters who don't know how to communicate with men. And now you get these unhealthy people in relationships together. And typically because the daughters see their mothers physical with boyfriends, their sons, they repeat the cycle. There's no boundaries. And this is being seen through multiple groups now, white women, Spanish women, and this action is not appropriate. See, men understand there's a boundary, right? Since I was a boy, growing up, I always knew that words between guys was just words. Sometimes it got physical, sometimes it just was just yelling, but we always knew there was the line that it will get violent if somebody touches the other person. And I grew up, understanding that, and I would get in fights. But as I got older, I understood what was worth fighting for and what was not worth fighting for. Now, at 26, you ain't gonna see me fighting anybody because there's no value in a fight. There's no value in me communicating with another man like that. It just doesn't work. However, women are being shown to have an increased aggression towards men, and where they don't understand that boundary. Matter of fact, they don't even care about that line because they recognize that the law and there's other protections that has their back. If a man defends himself, she is the victim. Doesn't matter. And since we live in a society where men are supposed to be walls, women say they can hit walls and there should be no consequences because I'm a man. I should be able to take your hand, your punch to the face, because you're a woman. You don't punch hard, right? You can't harm me, right? So arguing, if you feel like the argument is going nowhere and you're not getting your point across and you hit me, I can't defend myself because I'm a man. So where's the equality in that? There's not. And there's going to be plenty of subjects that we're going to talk about where the double standard that women want to, subscribe to, it's only for their benefit. It has nothing to do with us. It's not beneficial for men. It correlates to why 80% of marriages end up in divorces. That's not because of men. That's 80% of women are saying we don't want to be in this relationship, and there's not enough data in the world that a woman can say, well, this is the reason why that's happening. It's impossible. You can't say 80% is because of one reason. That's impossible. Especially when 80% of it is, filed by women. So you have to correlate, you have to figure out what's the reasoning for the women leaving. And it's not abuse. So I'm not mad at this man for defending himself. She stepped out of place, and I believe women should really respect that boundary and stop trying to test it. Funny enough, my mother, I have, for those who don't know, I'm legally blind. And for the longest, I actually grew up in, in a wild environment, and I would get in fights with, guys. But one time when I actually beat up one of these girls, cousins or brother, I don't remember, she came back to school the next day, and actually I have a scar on my eyebrow where she actually cut me right in the middle of the lunchroom because I beat up her family member. I won. Now this girl was older than me by maybe 2 years, but she involved herself to the level where it went too far. Now me and the boy just had a fist fight, but no, she couldn't just allow that. So it went to the point where I have only one eye right in my on my right side, and this girl was really trying to take away that sight. And I remember going back, and I was in foster care at this time, but I remember going back to see my mother, telling my mom about it, and her answer changing. Before it was, you don't ever hit women, you don't hit girls, you don't hit that. But seeing how far that went, my mom said, I don't care if a girl is a woman or not, man or woman. If somebody's going to try to harm you, defend yourself. And from there on, I've always told any woman, please never get physical. Don't cross that line, because I will hit you. I'm not going to bullshit you. I will hit you. Not because I hate women, but the fear that comes along with somebody trying to harm me when I'm not trying to take anything away from you. Winning a fight, fair fight, fist to fist, fine. I'll do that with a man. But the idea that women are going to come out and they're going to want to fight me, and this narrative of, well, you're a man, so stand there and take it. That's not fair. I could have lost my sight that day. I could have been blind. So would I have been justified in defending myself at the time? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So that's just my story. Hey, if you have any stories of your own, of situations you've been in, share it. This is On the Board. Peace out.